Sugar is one of the most consumed substances in the modern diet, and at the same time, one of the most misunderstood. Most people think of sugar only as something sweet desserts, candy, soft drinks, pastries. But sugar goes far beyond that. It's hidden in sauces, breads, yogurts, snacks, cereals, and foods that don't even taste sweet. Many people consume sugar every single day without realizing how much it influences their energy, mood, hunger, focus, and overall health. So, what actually happens if you stop eating sugar for 14 days? Not forever. Not in an extreme way, just 2 weeks. In this video, you're going to understand what happens inside your body when sugar disappears from your daily routine, why the first days feel uncomfortable, what changes start to happen in your metabolism, brain, and hormones, and why many people are surprised by how different they feel after just 14 days. Stay until the end because we'll also talk about the most common mistakes people make when they try to quit sugar and how to do it in a realistic way that actually works. Let's start with something essential. Sugar is not just a source of calories. Sugar affects your hormones, your nervous system, your gut, your brain chemistry, and your metabolic flexibility. When you eat sugar, especially added sugar, glucose enters your bloodstream quickly. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin's job is to move glucose out of the blood and into cells so it can be used for energy or stored. This system works very well until it's overstimulated. When sugar intake is frequent, insulin is constantly elevated. Over time, cells become less sensitive to insulin, a process known as insulin resistance. Blood sugar becomes harder to control, energy becomes unstable, and hunger increases. When you stop eating sugar, this entire system begins to recalibrate. But that recalibration doesn't feel pleasant at first. The first 3 days are often the hardest. Many people experience headaches, fatigue, irritability, low mood, cravings, brain fog, or even mild anxiety. This doesn't mean sugar was helping you. It means your brain and body were adapted to constant sugar stimulation. Sugar strongly activates dopamine, the neurotransmitter involved in reward and motivation. When sugar intake suddenly stops, dopamine stimulation drops. The brain reacts by sending strong signals to seek sugar again. At the same time, blood sugar begins to stabilize, but the body hasn't fully adapted yet. Insulin levels start to decrease and cells begin to shift from relying on quick sugar hits to using stored energy. This transition phase feels uncomfortable because your metabolism is changing its fuel preference. Many people misinterpret this phase and think something is wrong. In reality, this phase is temporary and expected. Hydration, adequate protein intake, and proper sleep are crucial during these first days. Around day 4, something important begins to shift. Blood sugar fluctuations decrease. Insulin spikes become smaller and less frequent. Hunger starts to feel more predictable instead of urgent or emotional. Many people notice that they don't feel the same intense need to snack constantly. Cravings may still appear, but they are less overwhelming. Energy may still feel lower than usual, but it becomes steadier. Instead of sharp highs followed by crashes, energy becomes more even throughout the day. Sleep quality often begins to improve, especially in people who previously consumed sugar in the evening. Digestive symptoms such as bloating, gas, or discomfort may also begin to decrease. This is often the phase where people realize how much sugar was driving their appetite without them noticing. By the second week, the body is significantly more adapted. Insulin sensitivity improves, meaning cells respond better to insulin, and glucose is handled more efficiently. This supports better energy use and reduces the tendency to store excess energy as fat. Cravings usually decrease noticeably. Many people report that foods taste sweeter naturally. Fruits taste more intense. Even vegetables may taste slightly sweet. This happens because taste receptors reset when sugar intake drops. Mental clarity often improves. Brain fog decreases. Focus becomes easier. Mood stabilizes because blood sugar swings are reduced. Some people notice physical changes such as reduced bloating, less water retention, and a lighter feeling in the body. Clothing may feel looser, but this is often due to reduced inflammation and water retention rather than fat loss. Weight loss is not guaranteed, and it should not be the main goal. The primary benefit is metabolic stability and awareness. Reducing sugar has significant hormonal effects. Lower sugar intake reduces constant insulin stimulation. This helps restore metabolic flexibility, meaning the body can switch more easily between using glucose and stored fat for energy. Leptin and ghrelin, the hormones that regulate hunger and satiety, begin to normalize. This reduces constant hunger and makes it easier to recognize true hunger versus cravings. Cortisol, the stress hormone, may also decrease slightly as blood sugar becomes more stable, especially in people who previously relied on sugar for quick energy during stressful moments. High sugar intake is associated with increased inflammation. Sugar promotes the production of inflammatory compounds and oxidative stress. When sugar intake is reduced, inflammatory markers may begin to decrease. This doesn't happen overnight, but within 2 weeks, some people notice reduced joint stiffness, less puffiness in the face or body, and improvements in skin appearance. Again, this depends on the overall diet. Removing sugar while still eating ultra-processed foods will limit these benefits. The brain without sugar. The brain uses glucose, but that does not mean it needs constant sugar intake. When sugar consumption drops, the brain becomes more efficient at using stable glucose supply and alternative fuels. Dopamine signaling becomes less dependent on food reward, which helps reduce emotional eating and compulsive snacking. Many people report improved focus, emotional stability, and a calmer relationship with food. Common mistakes when quitting sugar. One of the most common mistakes is eliminating all carbohydrates, not just added sugar. This often leads to excessive fatigue, poor performance, and eventual relapse. Another mistake is not eating enough protein. Protein is essential for blood sugar stability and satiety. Without it, cravings increase. A third mistake is avoiding fats. Healthy fats help slow digestion and provide sustained energy. Many people also rely heavily on artificial sweeteners. While they don't raise blood sugar, they can maintain cravings and reward-driven eating patterns. Finally, some people expect immediate perfection. They view one slip as failure and quit entirely. How to stop eating sugar in a sustainable way. The goal is not to eliminate pleasure from eating. The goal is to reduce unnecessary sugar exposure. Focus on removing added sugars, not naturally occurring sugars in whole foods like fruit. Build meals around protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Eat regularly, stay hydrated, sleep well. Stress management is essential because stress increases sugar cravings through hormonal pathways. After 14 days, many people gain a completely new awareness of how sugar affects their body. What you learn after 14 days. The biggest change is not physical, it's awareness. You understand how sugar influences your energy, mood, hunger, and focus. You gain the ability to choose sugar intentionally instead of automatically, and that changes everything. Stopping sugar for 14 days is not about restriction, it's about information. It gives your body a break, it gives your metabolism a reset, and it gives you clarity. Once you experience it, you can decide how sugar fits into your life, instead of sugar deciding for you.